Hi again, everybody. Welcome back to Tom's Press Box. I'm here to talk about the hardy souls, the few, the proud, the Husker hoops faithful, and it's. I guess I have to start by saying, full disclosure, I'm a San Diego Chargers fan. You know, sports writers are fans. We don't always wear our colors. I didn't wear my. I've got a Lance Allworth jersey I could have worn. I actually had I have an old Danny knee button I could have worn. I forgot. It's one of those crazy days. But we all have our teams. You know, in Omaha, there's Cub fans, there's Royals fans, every Cardinal fans, any kind of fan you can find, Packers, Chiefs, and it's what we do. And, you know, who knows why we pick the teams we do. Some people just sort of watch, you know, for years there were Nebraskans who were Yankee fans because the Yankees were on TV every week. That was the only game you saw on TV. There are legions of St. Louis Cardinal fans throughout Nebraska because they got the games on radio. And a generation of Cub fans grew up watching WGN on cable in the 80s. So everybody has their way. I grew up in San Diego as a young pup, and my dad used to take me to LA Dodger games, so I became a Dodger fan that way. And Chargers, though, I mean, look, we're not cursed. We're just the Chargers. We got to the Super Bowl and got our butts kicked by the 49ers. So, but I love being a Charger fan. I love wearing the stuff. I love the fact that there's always next year. They're going to tease me. They're going to taunt me. They're going to drag me to the edge, and then I'm going to fall off the cliff. And I'm going to get my heart broken by Tom Brady. I mean, the Chargers lost a home playoff game to Mark Sanchez, for God's sake. So, I mean, we've had Norv Turner. We've had every possible coach you can have, and now we got a guy who likes to go for it on his own, the 4th and 1 on his own 18. So. It's kind of what we do. So that's what I love about Nebraska basketball fans. And they all know who they are. They're, by the ticket count, we do that now. They scan tickets. Our old warhorse, Lee Barfneck, used to be the guy who he could look around a crowd. He had an expert eye and a certain art for telling you how many people were actually in the Devaney Center, not the announced the ticket sold number, but he would tell you what it was, and would drive the athletic people crazy. But now we have actual scanning things, so they can do that, and we trust their numbers if they're giving us a right. Right now they're saying in this tough Nebraska basketball season, 7,100 people are going to a game every game. That's less than half the building, the capacity. It's not good. But boy, I tend to look at it the other way. I look at it like, man, those people are tough. They're great. They're great fans, and it's that's your fan base in a sense that are with you. Win or lose some more in this case. I just applaud them. I've been here just over 30 years. When I got here, Danny Nee was riding the wave. He just had his best team, 91, Tony Farmer, Rich King, were a number 3 seed in the tournament. And then he proceeded to go to 3 more tournaments in a row. He had a great recruiting class. He kind of had it going. You know, Nebraska basketball fans were on top of the world back then, and then things just sort of deteriorated over the years as Nee chased away coach assistants who helped him, and got players who sometimes wanted to play and other times they didn't, and it was just one thing after another seemed to happen, and then he got fired. And then we became just one thing after another. Barry Collier, the Doc Sadler years is just, they just never caught up because of that'd be a whole other episode of this show to get into all that stuff. I'm not here to talk about the coaches who failed. I'm talking about the fans who stayed. And the Pinnacle Bank Arena was a great reward for those fans. It was in Lincoln's version of what we have in Omaha, the Shatel Center. Great places to go to eat and drink around there. Easy places to park and walk. You get out of there after a game. You can get to your car and get out of there pretty quick. It's just a wonderful place to sit and watch a game. There's plenty of room. There's no alcohol, but you know what? There's plenty of alcohol outside. Although I will say some of the games we've seen, it would sure help to have a beer. But they don't, and so you have to do that before the game, knowing full well that you might see what you saw last Saturday sort of unfold before your eyes. So always good to come prepared by going to 76 Strong across the street, or Gate 25, or any other places that have numbers and alcohol. But what I really admire about these guys is that they've seen it all. They've been led down the path toward, one year they probably should have gotten the tournament and they didn't. They just, one disappointment after another seems to follow this program, and they thought, God, we finally struck it rich with Fred Hoiberg, and it's just gone the opposite way, unbelievably, incredibly, just mind-blowingly, has not worked out. And yes, it's only been 3 years, but in college basketball, it doesn't take 3 years to get a program up and going. It's just, it's tough. And I just salute these people because, it's more important to have a team than it is to win. It's great to win, but you get more. I think, Cub fans love being Cub fans. Same with Chiefs fans, Royals fans. They always, these people got the payoff in the last several years, but there's more meaning to sticking by your team and, saying that you were there and you didn't leave. You weren't a bandwagon fan, and nobody has more meaning than Nebraska basketball fans. They have to be the toughest fans in the country of any sport. They've never gone to the tournament and won. They've been to one tournament since 1998. It's one thing after another. But I really respect them. I finally got it. I thought Nebraska basketball was sort of this program that had no identity, didn't really know what it wanted to be. And the great legend himself, Kent Pavelka, pulled me aside and said, no, we have an identity. It's the quest, the never-ending quest. We will never stop until we get it, and until we get there. And he said the administration, the program, the coaches, the fans are all just, on this never-ending quest, I guess, for lack of a better word. And I thought about that for a while. I thought, he's right. And it is a lot like being the. And I think Cub fans. I used to joke that they were. That they weren't happy unless they were miserable, unless Bartman screwed it up, or this happened or that happened. And you know what? Cub fans got it, but they're still Cub fans. They got one World Series title, and then they kind of fell back, and they haven't been the same, and they've lost their roster, and the Cub fans are kind of back in that mode again. But it isn't about World Series titles or NCAA tournaments. It's about wearing the colors, supporting your team, It's okay to call up the coach on the radio show and yell at him. That's part of being a fan too. You know, you hopefully do that with class, but it's part of being a fan, and the coaches have to understand that. They're big boys, and they're getting the big money to do that. You bet they are. So I just wanted to salute them, and as a San Diego Charger fan, as a Husker Hoop fan, I hear you, I salute you, and one of these days we'll both drink from the well. Thank you.